running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
On this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon comes in. Welcome to 2025. Not today. This one the other way. It's still going back. That's the drag. Walks up and down. Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. Takes his shot for Darby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.
Kimberly crosses the finish line at next run. Amy Hoagland crosses the finish line. And now a wheelchair participant comes to the line. William Holder crosses the finish line in Pat's run. Nicholas and Sarah, congratulations on completing Pat's run. Alvaro Meza crosses the finish line in Pat's run. Reminder to runners as you complete the 4.2 miles, keep moving to exit as quickly as possible. There'll be a lot more runners coming behind you. Hayward Boycer crosses the finish line. Daniel Alvira. Emily Smith. Congratulations on completing Pat's run. Benjamin Bermudez. Congratulations. Raymond Vega Reyes. Raymond is 14 years old, and he just completed the 22nd annual Pat's run. And here comes a runner with a couple of helpers in a stroller. Patrick Coronado, with his two helpers, completes Pat's run. Cody Walls is coming to the finish line. Good job, Cody. Frank Kincaid is coming to the finish line, along with 23-year-old Patrick McCann. Joshua Niska comes to the finish line in Pets Run, as does Dwayne Dukes. Joshua Coe has completed Pets Run. So has Carl Palmer. Tommy Mack, congratulations on reaching the finish line. Michael Snyder has hit the finish line, as has Michael Greer and Bella Harper. Michael Greenwich comes to the finish line in Pat's Run. Aiden Carson. 45-year-old George Allen. Matthew Osborne completes Pat's Run. He's coming to the finish line. Give him a big round of applause. Great job, Matthew.
What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? Yes, I've been slacking on doing that, but Pat's Run highlights, yes. Welcome into Friday's friendly edition of Pitchfork Lunch. I am Michael here at Diablo005_ on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. You can check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, I know Pitchfork Lunchers, you have never heard this one before, but you can go to the wonderful world of IG. Yes, my IG, Michael.Caratanudo.5. I know. I don't know if you've ever heard that before. But, yeah, you can go there, too. Find me. Let's chat on the good old IG, too. But, yeah, just had a dot between the first and last name and then a .5 at the end. Michael.Caratanudo.5. Bam, there you go. Forks up to that. And last but not least, Pitchfork Lunchers, you know, YouTube. You can watch live on YouTube, but you need to subscribe to the YouTube channel, my friends, as I was going to say to you, yes, you can go to YouTube and watch live, but you can subscribe because, as you veteran Pitchfork Lunchers know, you guys have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews for the newbies. Yes, it is just, it's all there, and it is absolutely loaded up and ready to go. So you have missed a ton of it, ton. As I'm telling you this, I've missed, like I said, a plethora of phenomenalness, whether it be, you know, coaches, players, voices, insiders, analysts, alum from many different generations. And yes, next Friday will actually be the last show of the season as track and field. Well, got some updates from that too, the championships, but those finish tomorrow, and there's some football stuff. And there's a few guests I'm aiming for to wrap up with next week. So Friday, but possibly Thursday could be the last show of season 3. So again, just a teeny bit more, and we'll go from there. But yes, just a little heads up so you guys know. And then then we'll be on hiatus for a little while, and season 4 will go. But my point is to subscribe to YouTube. I digress back to that, because when I say you guys have missed a plethora of phenomenalness and a ton of shows, well, yes, that includes season 1. So keep watching this last part of season 3. Binge watch season 1. Keep watching this last part of season 3. Then binge watch season 2, and keep watching this last part of season 3. And then after next Friday, you can just go and watch. You can finish, like I said, seasons 1 and 2, and then whatever you didn't see of season 3. Because again, guys, it is just one of those things where, man, you can't. I can't state it enough, because when season 4 gets rolling, we're gonna have a few more changes, a little bit more things. We'll see. I'm just saying, keep your we will keep our eyes out for that. But there we go. All right. So nonetheless, but keep your eyes out for that, like season 4, like I said. But guys, you're going to want to binge watch. You're going to want to get caught up, because we have friends of the program. We have these guests on. Of course, yes, some of the questions will be relevant to the team and things I may have kind of asked before, but every team being different. So that being said, it's one of those things where, I mean, you look at it and it's one of those things where, you're going to want to be in the know, because, like I said, you'd be like, whatever, they talk about that or talk about that. Again, yes, some things might come up, but that being said, I am going to you're going to want to get caught up. So again, go to YouTube. You guys know how to get there. You see my name, Michael Caratanudo, but my page is at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005, at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. Like I said, get all caught up, all that good stuff, because like I said, when season 4 comes rolling around, guys, you're going to want to be here for it. That's all I'm saying. You're going to want to be caught up, and see where we go from there. So that being said, just so you know, but track and field, like I said, we're going to start off with the women's 4x1 was yesterday, and the women's 4x1 team was in the second heat in lane 2. Their season best qualifying was a 44:57. And that's moving, but 41.96 from USC's USC was the top time all season. So sub 42, guys, which is insane. In the 4x1, as you can imagine. So ASU was in that heat with USC, and just to refresh your wonderful Pitchfork Lunch memories, Aaliyah Adams, by the way, Ashanti Bowlers, Nia Morgan, and Alexia Schofield um, hit their season best, by the way, that 44.57. That's who was on the 4x1 team for the ladies. And they hit that at the Western Regional. So, I mean, you're going into nationals peaking. So, yeah, 44.57, as I told you guys. So then they ended up, though, so USC, they went 41.96. And took it. So they still went sub 42, which is, again, just insane. Hold on a second. So the Devils were, unfortunately, the team down south was in front of them by one spot, but they went 44.56, my friends. And so they cut, another hundredth of a second off, or 44.66, sorry. 44, I said 56. They went 44.66. Right in that neighborhood. And yeah, I mean, again, it's just lightning when you get to these. So your automatic qualifiers, the top two. So in Heat 1, it was LSU and Texas A&M. And then in Heat 2, it was USC and Georgia. Yeah, SC went 41.96, and it was a season best and it's not a collegiate record. But nonetheless, so the Devils, like I said, were 21st, and again, a hell of a season. You get there, you go 44.57, you go 44.66. But yeah, real quick, just because I gave you automatic qualifiers yesterday. So so LSU and A&M out of Heat 1 were the automatic qualifiers. USC and Georgia out of Heat 2. And then out of Heat 3, South Carolina and Florida State. And then the next three fastest times to qualify were Texas at a 43.01. They were in Heat 2. Texas Tech at a 43.11. They were also in Heat 2. And then Tennessee. Sorry, Tennessee was also in Heat 2, and they went 40. So all the next three fastest times came in Heat 2, which just happened to be ASU's Lightning Heat. Yeah, I mean, you look at ASU's Heat. USC, again, the number one team, they went 41-96. Georgia went 42. Tennessee went 42-46. Texas went 43-01. Texas Tech went 43-11. Then Ole Miss went 43-20. Then you had 43-46 from Florida A&M, and then 44-66 from ASU. So, I mean, that whole Heat just ridiculously moving. But again, man, huge shout out to Aaliyah Adams, Ashanti Bowlers, Naya Morgan, and Alexia Schofield as, man, representing. And you get that experience. And I mean, yes, of course, everybody wants to, get through prelims, give themselves a shot at finals, as we know, to overstate the obvious. But they still had a hell of a season. I mean, it's exciting, and that is one thing that you're going to aim. I know I've been saying it all season, but I'm going to aim. We'll see what he has. But to cap the season, or cap one of the interviews next week, but with Graham Rossini, and just to see if we can get him on the show to cap it off. And again, a zillion things to do, so why not here at Pitchfork once we give him a zillion and one things to do, because I know it's already on the list, but track and field, obviously the stadium, you lost half this, you lost a huge amount of the stands. I mean, I just remember, again, Sun Devil relays when I was in high school, like getting to run there, and it's just, again, absolutely awesome. But again, lots have changed. So that being said, we need to, ask about, track and field, where that's going and all that good stuff. So we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, football, recruiting, and talk to you about obviously who signed so far for 27. Now, I mentioned a few, but again, it is just absolutely awesome. Offering 28s, 29s, and there is a 2030 athlete that has been offered. So yes, a freshman is now a freshman, but I'm just saying, and it's crazy, man. It is nonstop. The building of relationships, each class obviously at a different level with each coaching staff does it. But we'll come back. We're going to talk that on the way out, though, here on Pitchfork Lunch. Again, get you a little more on Pat's friend, because I'm always on Fridays trying to do it, but today and then all of next week, not just next Friday, all of next week is going to bring you just certain things from Pat's Run. Even have an interview in there with a gentleman from Kansas City, which I have to. I know I showed it after Pat's Run, but I got to get it back up. So we'll do that too. But all next week. And again, we always honor. Fridays is all about Pat Tillman, but we always honor good old Mr. Tillman. So we'll step aside real quick. Hit football, recruiting, baseball. Yes. Harrison and Contreras, another honor, another All-American honor. So American honors for them. Get to that too. We'll get to it. But again, don't go too far, and we'll have all of that most wonderfulness, Sun Devil wonderfulness, as I call it, coming up here on Pitchfork Lunch.
Daniel Lowry has completed Pat's Run. So has Nicholas Mounts and Mick Greer, Darren Gleason.
No turtles!
Shane Broder has crossed the finish line. Cole Weber has hit the finish line, as has Dan Deaver. Keegan Belanger. Jack Bullington. Congratulations on completing that run. Rochelle Arthur. You did it. You completed that run. Joshua Sanders. Good for you. Jackson Wells coming to the finish line in Pat's run. Jackson Settles has completed Pat's run. Juan Pino has completed Pat's run. Scott Hurlbert has completed the run and crossed the finish line. Tanner Webb, congratulations on completing that run.
back here on Pitchfork Lunch. What is up, my peeps? Happy Friday, whatever you want to call it. You guys know, whatever you want to call it, I absolutely support. So you go Friday. Hey, man, works for me. You know why? Works for me. But yeah, we are rolling here on Pitchfork Lunch. Again, the penultimate Friday. Next Friday will be the last show of season 3, guys. I know our kids all grows up here on season 3. So, but yes, next Friday will be the final show. But I said we are going to get to football recruiting, and yes. Because when we talk about the 27s, when we talk about the 27s that have verbal, yes, I mean they can, as we all know, they can change their minds. They usually don't, but every now and then some do. But the 27 class right now shaping up very well for Coach Dillingham, the Devils, the staff, everyone. And I know I mentioned, obviously, Dylan Bruce. Jake Hildebrand, yes, local kid who was a golden ticket recipient. As you remember, I said, let's keep our head on a swivel for these. But I was going to say, in the secondary, again, I mean, getting these athletic, lengthy corners, saw what, obviously, Coach Carrington, Coach Ward working obviously with these guys, but also now Coach Meat in there. Oh, yeah. And no, not Jay Russell. Here's your shout out, Jay Russell. When you look at ASU's 2027 recruiting class, though, I mean, you talk about 2 4-stars have landed in Jake Hildebrand out of Basha, as we know, and the wide receiver out of Orange, California, Nico Bland. Um, Also a 4-star athlete. Then Elijah Wan Houston, who's listed as a 3-star, but well, him as 3-star. I've seen listings him as a 4-star, so I went borderline. The corner committed, and then Tyson Johnson out of Temecula, California, the another wide receiver. So, I mean, this is what's coming in, and there's obviously more 27s that still have to decide. Not every single one is decided yet, but and then they can't sign until December anyway, early signing period, and then obviously February, the last of the signing period, my friends, as you guys greatly know that. But I mean, Hildebrand, like you hear him talking about it, you hear Coach Dillingham, and I love Coach Dillingham's statement when he was available at the kids camp last week when he was saying, there's no answer to fix the problem, and that's not a coach making an excuse. There's 105 scholarships, so you could literally sign 105 local kids if it were to be that. I mean, and again, like it's not a new school, new program, so you're not doing it that way. But I'm just saying, like he said, you could have that many, and they're still not going to solve the problem because, look, whether somebody wants to hear or not, I mean, he could say it's a destination spot, and a lot of people say it's a destination spot, and it is. I mean, you think of, not really having to go through it in the winter. Maybe staying warmer a little bit longer, but at the same time, like, think about it, guys. It's one of those things where maybe some kids want to get out of here. Bryce Perkins, old Chandler quarterback. Well, I say old, former Chandler quarterback, UCLA alum. Like, talking to him at the, I remember at the state championship game at, State Farm Stadium now, but I mean, playing at Cardinal Stadium, saying that like ASU, was talking to him and was very interested in him, but he just wanted to get out, and he worked that. He again ended up going to UCLA, had a hell of a career there. So Coach Dillingham, like he says, I mean, there is that, but I mean, Jake Hildebrand, you see this kid. I mean, already 6'5", 6'6", over 300 pounds, and just has that attitude, and Coach is selling it. He got a golden ticket last year, and he signs, and then you get Nico Bland and Tyson Johnson, 2 receivers out of California. Nico, like I said, out of Orange, and then Tyson Johnson out of Temecula. I mean, Johnson 6'2", 185, a 3-star athlete, and then Bland a 4-star, 6'1", 185. Again, Hines Ward, how he's developing these, receivers, what they're doing, what they've done. We talk about Jordan Tyson. Look at Xavier Guillory too, from the year before when Tyson went down. I mean, stepped up huge. I mean, he had dealt with some injuries, but stepped up huge in the Big 12 championship game, and then even in the game against Texas, moving the ball. Yeah, Scatterby had a good game, but moving the ball around, like they so you see what I'm saying, and then you said Elijah Wan Houston, Fat Houston, the nickname, and then And then Dylan Bruce, another DB who committed too. So I mean, he's oh, maybe this Dylan Bruce is a 4-star. That's what I was thinking of. So Elijah one, 3-star. And then Dylan Bruce, another 4-star, 27, 6'1", 170 pound, track and field, Huntington Beach, another kid from California. Oh, hold on a second. Sneeze cam. Couldn't do it on cam. Anyway, that being said, another 4-star. And speed wise, guys, from what they're bringing in, like they're bringing in some jets. So look, that's 27 so far. Obviously, some 28s have been offered. There's actually been a few 28s that have been offered. That's right. But again, I keep up with people. And again, I do talk. I talk to other like high school coaches around here and see what they're doing and see who like your recruiting wise, what they're obviously, because like I said, keeping up with that just for one sport literally is, we kid around. People say with 24/7 Sports, and again, they do a phenomenal job with it all over what they have. Chris Cartman, obviously, friend, so publisher of Sun Devil Source for 24/7 Sports, and the recruiting just absolutely insane. So like to keep up with just one sport, it literally is just about. When there's dead periods, like that's the cool part. You can catch up with the athletes. I mean, you can reach out to coach. Granted, they can't talk about who from other classes. But if somebody's offered again, but there's a way to the dead period is a great time to catch up with the athletes and again balance out lists, see who got offers from where. And all that good stuff. So yeah, just wanted to get that out there because like I keep talking, I know I say the 27s, but camp's going on this week, which obviously is a great thing. So, but baseball, guys, again, both Landon Harrison is a Baseball America first team All-American, and New Contradas is a second team for the NCBW. Harrison was a first teamer again. Contradas was a third teamer, but Baseball America. I mean, I lean towards, second team, and I get it. He missed some time, but what he did all season long, even when he first came back and things were still a little ginger, but Coach knew wanted to be in the lineup, and it wasn't going to hurt him because, first and foremost, Coach Bloomquist, again, talking about that, absolutely awesome. Is one of those things. So, yes. But yeah, Baseball America, first, second team. Again, man, force up to them, man. They grinded all year, gave us a hell of a run. Two just insane extra inning games. Two insane extra inning games, right? That we know of, that they had. against Ole Miss in the regionals. And by the way, I told you I'd keep. Yeah, I know they're not playing. I was like, who cares? Which again, I do care. But all right, so Cal Poly upset number 1 overall seed UCLA in their Los Angeles regional. They went on to take on West Virginia, who was a 16 seed. So West Virginia, thinking they were going to have to travel back across the country to Los Angeles, got to actually stay in Morgantown and host. Well, they beat Cal Poly into 12-2 and then 17-1. Having seen West Virginia, and again, not being a Big 12 homer, not picking on Cal Poly, but not surprised that West Virginia advances. So West Virginia is in the College World Series along with, well, Boomer Sooner. They got out of the Atlanta regional, which Georgia Tech hosted. And Kansas, again, how crazy is this? So Kansas is a 15 seed, West Virginia a 16 seed. As you guys knew, we talked about it when they came out, and ASU was, not a nationally ranked seed, but they were in the Lincoln regional. 15 seed Kansas, 16 seed West Virginia. 15 seed Kansas, and again, they were seeded, so they end up winning their Lawrence regional, so they advance. They're both hosting West Virginia and Kansas. But then Oklahoma, who's not seeded, beats Kansas. And in 2, it wasn't even a third game. Oklahoma won 8-1 and then 13-2. And this is an Oklahoma team in which the Devils, of course, split with earlier, early in the season, right? As we know, they split with them and were seriously in the bottom of the 9th with a lead and almost swept Oklahoma. So they beat Kansas, and so they go to the College World Series. This is insane. Little Rock, who took the Hattiesburg regional, which Southern Miss hosted. That's where Southern Miss is, in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Troy took the Gainesville regional, which Florida was the, 9th ranked? 8th ranked. Yeah, Florida's the 8th ranked team. But Troy wins it. So Troy hosted the Super Regional, which is insane. Troy's in Alabama, by the way. It took me a minute to figure out where that was, but yes. But Troy won into 12-2 and 7-2 against Little Rock. So Troy, yes, from Troy, Alabama, is in the College World Series. Speaking of Alabama, well, they were taking on St. John's because Alabama hosted the Tuscaloosa Regional. They're ranked number 7. St. John's got out of the Tallahassee Regional, where they sent home 10th-ranked Florida State. So Alabama wins there, and they go to the College World Series. And then UNC hosted the Chapel Hill Regional. They hosted the Super Regional, of course. USC, who went to College Station and that regional and won that, as USC had they lost to Texas State 5-4. Then they went through the elimination bracket. They beat Lamar 19-6. Then a rematch with Texas State. They just worked them 15-4. Then Texas A&M, they had to beat twice. Yeah, 14-3 and 7-1. Absolute domination. So College Station and the regionals just not what they were thinking this year. So SC wins that, but they lose to Carolina, and that took 3 because SC took the first game 9-5, and then Carolina took the second game 4-0, and then in a nail biter, Carolina wins the game 4-3, and SC was up. This is crazy because SC scored in the first inning. They scored 1. Carolina ties it up in the bottom of the 3rd, right? Makes it 1-1. SC scores in the 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. They're up 3-1 through 5. Nobody scores in the 6th or 7th. NC gets 1 in the 8th, right? Bottom of the 8th to make it 3-2. Okay, SC can't score the 9th. And Carolina walks it off. They get 2 in the bottom of the 9th. When I saw that, I was like, you've got to be kidding me, to walk it off and win it 4-3 in that Three-game series. So yeah, best 2 out of 3. So yeah, I mean, when you talk about insaneness, well, that's what that was. But Carolina, they advanced to the College World Series, as does Texas, because both Texas, who hosted the Austin Regional, and Oregon, who hosted the Eugene Regional, they both advanced. Texas beat them into 11-3 and 6-5. So you got North Carolina and Texas, and then Ole Miss beat Auburn in Auburn. So again, ASU, Ole Miss won 2-0, and Georgia also beat Mississippi State 2-0 as well. So your College World Series. So our final 8, which gets started. Is going on right now. Yeah, bottom of the 6. West Virginia is up on Troy 5-4 in the opener. 16 West Virginia and unranked Troy, so 5-4. Bottom of the 6 there, and then Carolina will take on Ole Miss at 7 p.m. on ESPN. Number 5, Carolina takes on Ole Miss, and then you have Alabama taking on Oklahoma and Georgia taking on Texas. So let's see. Five SEC teams. An ACC team, a Big 12 team, and Troy out of the MIAC. No, Southern. I'll look it up again. Sorry, I know it's in Troy, Alabama, but so yeah, I mean, and again, I'm saying these SEC teams aren't good, but there's some that. Anywho, well, look, number 1 overall seed got upset, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, obviously, as much as I want as you know, we want the Sun Devils to be there and winning it, but I will definitely go with West Virginia in this one. So. Nonetheless, though, yeah, that is that. So that's going to do it for today's show. You guys have, and this week's shows. Have a phenomenal, safe weekend. Keep up with the track championships. Like I said, unfortunately, there are no more Devils running. Oh, wait, no, hold on. 1 second. I thought. Hold on. I thought there's a high jumper. No, I messed that up. That's from the school down south. South. Triple jump? Nope, nobody in triple jump either. We also have the wheelchair 100 meters, which is awesome. There's, 5 from Illinois represented. One from, from Arizona, Chelsea Stein, whose personal best is the 3rd best time in the field. So her season best is 18.78 for Chelsea Stein. But the wheelchair 100, that's just so awesome that they incorporated this into the championships. Yes. Phenomenal that they do it. But yeah, there's actually 2. Melina Sobey from Arizona, and Chelsea Stein. And you have, like I said, 5 from Illinois, 1 from Michigan, and yeah. So 1 from Michigan, 2 from Arizona, and then 5 from Illinois, and that's your field. So, man, we'll see if they can if they mix it up. But that's awesome, man. That will be Saturday. That'll be tomorrow at 4:50 p.m. You can check out the finals for that. Women's discus. Oh my God, that's why we're done on Monday, because women's discus. By the way, yes, as you know, our girl Inez Lopez, 198 feet 8 inches. Yes, has to crack the 200 feet mark and see if she can hit. 227.4 from Alita Van Dalen, who that's her what she threw her season best. Sorry, that's her season best. 227 feet 4 inches. So 198.8 for Lopez tomorrow at it starts at 11:30 a.m. with flight 1. Starts at 11:30. Lopez is in flight 2. That's why I kept saying, man. But yes, that's why we're going Monday, because Lopez is throwing tomorrow, guys. And yes, I know I buried the lead in that, talking the 4x1 team and everything, but that is that. So look, Lopez, I will bring you her throws Monday. We will see that. And again, we're going to aim to get these phenomenal trackers when they get back from Eugene. Next week. So again, last week, kind of like last season, season 2, packing it with a lot. I'd always have to pack it with interviews and more, but again, with schedules and everything. So yes, but forks up. Let's go, Inez Lopez. We are sending you the Pitchfork Lunch Mojo. Man, let's get it. But have a phenomenal rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. Again, 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. Watching the shot put again on ESPN Plus, all that good stuff. So yes, check it out. And go from there. But a phenomenal rest of your Friday. I will see you Monday. Same bad time, same bad channel. And thanks to reigning back-to-back Big 12 champs women's volleyball, it is #OurState. Always reminding me to remind you that, hey, Pitchfork Lunch, we know it's true. It is #OurState. Absolute domination. And maybe not absolute, but we're headed in that direction. So that being said, you guys know, go Devils. And as always, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Blake Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Pull, touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here it goes again. Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met. The backfield runs through the contact and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
Shut this deep this year. That is drilled high in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. Today. This one the other way. Still going back. That's the drag. Walks up and down. Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.
Takes his shot for Derby. Flag out. Doesn't matter.